Okay, I think we're going.
Yep, looks like it's going. So let's go ahead and jump in. So the first order of business is to review and approve the meeting minutes from last time. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll walk through those. Oh, come on, I had it. Oh, there it is. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, looks great.
Okay, so on March 10th, we met. This is the attendee list. We talked through the House Academy survey for 2nd through 6th grade. The overall feedback was very positive for the program, and so we kind of talked through that. A lot of notes here, but I think that sums up the House Academy survey. We reviewed the Math Acadians data, and Kelly went through that for us. Trying to think if there was anything in particular to really note here.
Meaning about the Math Acadians data.
Yep.
No.
I mean, just as part of the review of the meeting minutes.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. We went over the TSSP data. The end of year testing was happening, so we looked at the middle of year data and saw, varying growth across the different grades and talked through that. The TSSP goal history was talked through. My notes may not be as thorough as Rick's for today's meeting.
He does an amazing job of typing all that up while the meeting's going, that's for sure.
Yes, he does. So we talked through all of that. We talked about targeted support intervention goals. Still missing data on that one. Hoping to collect data this spring. All right, and then we talked about the budget overview and feedback. We went through the teacher feedback, administrative feedback. We did this after the meeting, but we reviewed and approved and voted on voted on and approved the budget in a separate meeting. And then we motioned to close. Anything that wasn't captured that we had talked about? Seems very thorough.
I think so.
All right, so I'll motion to approve the meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. All right, so let me go back to this and stop sharing. Okay, so for tonight's agenda, we will talk through the math CFA data. The reading Acadians data, maybe we can push that one to the May agenda. And then maybe the Common Sense Digital measurement for next year, we could also push to the May agenda if that works.
Okay. And then I'll just mention that May is also the month where we want to re-vote on the rules of order and procedure.
Yes.
For the following year. So we just need to make sure that that's on the agenda, that we review it, and that if we do want to make changes to it, that we take care of that on the May meeting. And that includes, when we're on a fall election schedule for a community council. And so if we were going to, if people felt strongly about moving it to a spring election schedule, we would have to move quickly because we do have a fairly early dismissal this year. We don't even make it to Memorial Day.
Wow.
So I guess probably I'll just say right now that I don't recommend changing our election schedule this year. If we had more time in May, then because if we move from a fall to a spring, then we would almost need to immediately commence in getting ready for elections. So
yeah, we'd have to communicate like today.
Yeah, that is correct.
Because there's time periods
Yep.
associated, right?
Yeah, you have to provide a 10-day advance notice before you even open the election window, et cetera. So,
Okay.
well,
I
I'm
agree
gonna
with
go.
that.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. And I have a dual screen. Are you guys seeing the presentation here? I hope.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And we'll skip over some of the Acadience data. And I'm going to get to the slides that Mrs. Strader has. I'm going to skip fast. Right. Okay. So we're ready. So you can see right here on our timeline that we had an October measurement, a December measurement, a March measurement. So now we have 3 measurements on our math CFA data. And then we had the May as an optional one. Optional meaning we won't be reporting it on our goal because we're supposed to have our data now on whether we achieved that on our goal or not. But we still have plenty of the school year left for teachers to work. And so we encourage teachers to do a May measurement, but it's not going to be reflected on the goal. So right now, 70% of students will demonstrate proficiency in their grade level on determined desk priority standard. And so this is our kindergarten TSSP data. So again, we're shooting for 70% and we're there. We made the goal, so that's exciting, especially when you look at where we started at the beginning of the year. And so our kindergarten teachers have worked hard at trying to get, I mean, we still have work to do because we're not 100% green. And I have told our teachers that when we are focusing on a guaranteed viable curriculum, we want to guarantee that 100% of our kids will achieve this goal. And just as a recap, a guaranteed viable curriculum is when teachers determine a very small number of skills that they want to guarantee that every kid can have, regardless of where they come in at the beginning of the year. And so we know that that's a pretty difficult thing to do. And so it's if we basically ask teachers, if you could have every single kid be proficient in what skill, what would that be? And that's kind of how we've been working at trying to allocate some of our targeted small group instruction. So that's kindergarten. So that's exciting.
Just to make sure I'm following, this is just the measurement of like objective standard. It's not measuring growth. So it's proficiency in the skills.
This is not measuring growth. You are correct.
Okay.
This is, are they scoring 85% or above, which basically just means the green. Although I can understand why you're confused because as a recap for the TSSP that we did, we have shifted a little bit and we are going to a growth. Because with our CFA, we have been measuring proficiency for the last 2 or 3 years at King. And I have been preaching about growth, I guess, since I have come to King, and I think
we've seen those metrics in some of these presentations before as well.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the teachers they agree that they really like having that emphasis and focus on where the kids come and where are we taking them and celebrating all that's happened in the middle. And so I think that's reflective of our TSSP because where we're able to, all of our goals are focused on growth.
Okay.
So this is the percentage of kids that are proficient. So moving to the first grade, with first grade, we're only at 41%, so we're close. And I wish Kelly were here. I mean, Kelly is really the one that's working hard with our teachers. And whenever I talk to her, she's very optimistic. about our ability to be able to, have some achievement on this goal. So that's exciting, and she's excited. We started off in October where we had a lot of work to do, but I know that for a lot of grade levels, it's been rewarding as they have been slowly getting more and more kids, proficient on their particular skill. And so I know that it's a learning process for teachers as they figure out how much time, they need to be allocating, the frequency of how they're practicing certain skills and things like that. And so,
Okay.
so that's, yep. Second grade looks like they're a little bit ahead of first grade, and they have a large amount of yellow. So it's very plausible that if we just turned, half of those kids into green, that they could achieve their goal. So that's exciting to see their growth. Third grade, it looks like a little bit less. And I know that Kelly specifically has been working with third grade to try to help their scores. Part of it, if I can just talk to you really quickly, is a lot of the research that has been coming from teaching and learning department on developing conceptual understanding of mathematics for kids, and that some of the more rote memorization and we hate to use the term drill and kill, but kind of those types of practice are not very effective at helping kids know what they're doing. And so number talks is just more creative number play, I guess, is probably the best way to describe some of the activities that Kelly's been working on with some of our classrooms. And I know that in third grade, that's something that she's focusing on. Here's fourth grade. Fourth grade, their proficiency is really struggling. I know that Kelly has been working with fourth grade as well.
There's almost a pattern as we go up the grade levels.
Yeah,
becoming less proficient.
where we're seeing less proficiency. Let's see if fifth grade's a little bit better. So they were 17, so I'm just going to kind of go back. So 17%, 12, okay, 28, yeah. And so we are kind of, seeing a little bit of a pattern. Mathematics builds on the prior knowledge, and so that might be a little bit of what we're seeing too, because even though every grade level identifies the skill that's on their grade level that they're working on, we might be seeing the result of lots of holes in our students' understanding as the further they get into their educational career. So yeah, that could be some of the reason for the data. But they started out at not having anybody.
Yeah,
and,
not a single one.
I mean, I think that was the worst start out of all the grade level data. You can see most grade levels, 67%, 88. Okay, that one was pretty, first grade had a pretty low. But kindergarten started out pretty good. So anyway, let's go to fifth grade. So yeah, they also kind of started out with a low number of kids, but that's kind of where they're at. And then we'll look at sixth grade. Sixth grade has the lowest percentage of students. And so we know definitely that we need to change some things up in how we're instructing, because it's not cutting it for a lot of our kids. So yeah, we're aware of this data, transparent with the data, and we're having conversations with our teachers about the type of mathematics instruction that they're conducting. So that's a snapshot. We still have one more measurement. Oh yeah, this is the next year's goal, but yeah, that is that.
What do you think the path forward is to improve these numbers? Is it work having Kelly work more with the teachers? Is it implementing different teaching methodologies?
Yeah, as I'm looking at the data, I believe that a different instructional pedagogy is definitely something that we need. And I feel like there's a lot of, so we have implemented investigations math in kindergarten through 3rd grade. And those are the grade levels that coincidentally also have better scores. And investigations math is a conceptual based math program. It is more inquiry based. It is not memorizing algorithms. It is learning how to solve problems in different ways. It's everything that we probably did not experience when we were kids.
Right.
It's definitely different. And as I have talked with teachers, I think teachers that are used to a direct instruction approach, where you teach all 8 steps to the long division or what, you know what I mean, that it's focused more on the algorithm. I think those teachers have struggled with trying to adapt their instructional pedagogy to a more fluid and flexible. It's one where we want the kids talking a lot. We want the kids solving problems in different and unique ways. It's where we're really meshing creativity and math. I think a lot of people don't see the connection between creativity and math. I think when they think
not what you think of when you think of math.
When you think of math, but that's what we're talking about. And so the upper grades, I was actually going to look to purchase some conceptual understanding, the remainder of the curriculum that's called Investigations for Upper Grades. But I was advised not to by our math coach because we thought that the district might be looking to do a district-wide implementation. I did provide some they got some feedback from us on that this year, and I know that they are doing it, but a lot of times it takes several years to do that. So I'm kind of the only reason that my prior math coach told me not to is to try to make sure that we weren't wasting funds purchasing a curriculum that might be replaced very quickly. So yeah, but our teachers in the primary grades that have investigations have had the opportunity to participate in professional development. We just did one today. We're actually they do professional development with other schools in the Davis School District. Our teachers do in the primary grades that are also using the same math curriculum, and so they're trying to focus on developing those types of instructional strategies in the classroom that are developing the conceptual understanding for math, so that kids actually understand what they're doing instead of just kind of blindly memorizing steps. That could be.
Yeah, I would say don't even mess around with that investigations. It's horrible for upper grades. It is horrible. Don't even mess with it. The lower grades has been successful, but it's not the same for the upper grades. You got to look for more of a concrete number system that they can use, that they can do number talks with. But this investigation and exploring is actually destroying them so much. They need to talk about why these numbers work and have a laid out system that they can follow and talk about place values or why you can multiply fractions a certain way. But yeah, the investigations was completely horrible for upper grades. Don't even go near it.
Did you guys implement that at your school?
I did, and it was, and I'm still working with students that were with it
right?
In the past, and it's so bad for them. Just trying to get their mind frame back to liking math because they struggled so hard, and it was just bad for them. So I would advise stay away from it. Look for a more concrete math program that does talk about the numbers, that you can talk about why you can do things or different strategies, different algorithms, why they work. That's what we have to go to. And if not, you're gonna see them keep failing. I'll promise you that.
Well, yeah, thanks for providing your feedback. Yeah, right now our upper grades are using Advantage Math, and yeah, we're really struggling. We're hoping that the district will be close to maybe doing a district-wide adoption, but I know that a lot of the data that the teaching and learning department have shared with us. So when classrooms do number talks like Patrick's talking about, they actually just shared some data that the test scores for kids are a lot higher. And that's because number talks is a way for kids to be able to be creative, talk about how they're solving something. A lot of times understanding, especially mathematical understanding, is latent or it's hidden to the person unless they try to explain it and talk about it with other people. And so, making sure that we're providing activities for our kids to basically play with numbers and talk about it, I think is important, and to celebrate the creative ways that they're solving things. At least that's what some of the data that the teaching and learning department has been sharing. And so those are some strategies that Mrs. Strader, our math coach, has been trying to have our teachers utilize here at King.
Interesting.
Well, that's all of the math data that I have, and I will have Mrs. Strader, I'll try to have her be on our May Community Council so that she can kind of share some more information that way. I was going to announce a couple of things. One, we had announced at Kindergarten Roundup in March that we were going to be doing an extended day kindergarten program. So we had a 4-session kindergarten program when I first came to King, and then the pandemic hit, and then we lost a bunch of our kids, and we've been a 3-session kindergarten, but we have plenty of townhomes and other, growth that has occurred in our boundary. And so I anticipate that we're going to get back to the 4, but we had planned to run an extended day kindergarten program. But I was in a principal meeting today, and they talked about how the legislation for a new bill was passed where a full day kindergarten program will be kind of available as a grant opportunity for schools. So I was just going to let you guys know that I applied for us to be able to do that at King. And so instead of doing just 1 session as an extended day, because that's all I can afford, if we were able to get this grant, then we could do all 3 sessions of kindergarten to be full time, which would be pretty cool. So we're going to cross our fingers, and we should know in the next couple weeks on if we're awarded that grant.
Cool. That's great to hear.
Yeah. So that was something.
So would there be an option for a parent that would only want half-day kindergarten?
Yeah, right now I don't know. I do know that I don't know if we'll be forced to offer that, or if not. I know that there might be some parents that may not want a full day kindergarten. Unless I do a survey, I have no way of knowing what type of ratio that is. I know that when I talked with parents about doing our extended day program at kindergarten, most everybody was really excited about that and was hoping to be included in the extended day program. So yeah, I don't really know about that, those answers right now.
Because I know for some of those extended day kindergarten, it's more targeted for those kids that need that extra push or extra help in there.
Sure.
So if you have everyone in there, they might be getting that extra time taken away.
Say that again, sorry.
So if everyone is in the all day kindergarten, I know that for the all day, that's kind of for some of those kids that need that extra help, extra push to get back on target. So if everyone's in there and not everyone needs it, that's almost taking away from some of those extra, or those kids that need that extra one-on-one time.
Meaning like at another school, or you're just saying?
No,
it's
like if it's only here at King, all the full day classes, all day
Right.
kindergarten.
Yeah,
I
it'll
think it'd be
be.
good if you had one option of a
I
half day.
I agree that flexibility is always a good thing, and so but I because this is a new situation and a new opportunity, I don't know the answers to those things. So
Yeah,
I
get a
know
survey
that.
out there, see what they say, the parents.
Right. Well, I mean, I've expressed interest in the grant, and then I'll let me know what the stipulations, I guess, are of, I don't, we'll be researching that and figuring that part out and seeing, what types of options we have. So I know that based on the data that we have available, that our kindergarten could really use a good shot in the arm like this. Yeah, our teachers are excited. I know that a lot of the people I've talked about are excited about the opportunities. So that was all of the I believe that was all that I wanted to mention tonight. So I'm done, and so you can have it back, Adam.
Okay, sounds good. Well, if nothing else, we'll plan the reading the cadence data, the rules of order, any math CFA follow-ups, and potentially talking about how we might measure the Common Sense Digital Citizenship Program for 2023, I guess the 2022 to 2023 school year for the May agenda. Other than that, no other items from my side. Anything from your side, Patrick?
No, not that I have.
Well, then I would motion to close.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you both.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, have a good evening.
All right,
Yep.
bye.